Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Nautilus, and we'll be facing off against the Baron Nashor adventure from the Teamfight Adventures campaign. I was thinking, Baron gets very large and it's very scary, but what if we just go larger and scarier? And then I looked at Nautilus and I figured, I think Nautilus can take Baron on. I'm running this same setup I always run on Nautilus. It just feels like the best. We take the stack deck for the extra stats and the extra gold at the start, and Heart of Gold at the same time for even more gold generation. Starforge gauntlets for the extra mana, and we're basically going to be packing our deck as full as possible so we can get some extra stats from the Echoes of the Deep, and it won't matter that our deck is massive because of the Endless March. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if there's any augments that will be extremely good with Nautilus. BRB. Can we afford to skip the first turn? I'm not sure. Preparation seems unnecessary because my units already get a lot of buffs by default. And Clear Mind. Clear Mind doesn't seem that great, honestly. We want to develop stuff on board. And if we're passing up on the BRB, we need to pass up on the Clear Mind. Yeah. Let's reroll. Cybernetic Implants, Cluttered Mind, Ascension. Cluttered Mind seems unnecessary. By the time we will have a full back row, we will already be at a very high mana value. A lot of our cards have a decent amount of items by default. So maybe the cybernetic implants is the way to go for the extra stats. It's kind of boring, but sometimes the boring option is the best option. Until we get some more cards in our deck, I think we'll struggle a bit. I'll keep this end though. Seems decent enough. We can go Lure of the Depths on the first turn. Set up something else on the second turn, but let's see what the opponent does first. Okay. The opponent's units can get very large indeed. It's going to be a problem to trade into anything until we hit deep, I think. And we already hit deep. That was quick. Lure of the Depths dropped on the beast below, I suppose. The opponent trades favorably. Ooh, that's right, our Nexus has stuff by default, so we don't even take that much damage from the impact all of the opponent's units have. That's nice. I think I'll just go Salvage to draw a couple more cards. If 10 cards in deck, the more cards we draw and toss, the bigger my units get. I would like to obliterate one of the opponent's units, but I don't want to obliterate the Solaris Shield Bearer. So I suppose we're going to trade like this. We don't really deal a lot of damage to the opponent's Nexus because of the lifesteal there, but we set up a bit of removal. Kill there, obliterate that one. And over the next couple of turns we'll probably kill the opponent. I'm going to wait until the last second to play the Nautilus, I think. I don't want to lose by Decking out. That's okay. If you could attack into me, opponent, that would be nice. Not with that though, that's way too large. Even then, I'm fine taking the damage. I'll heal it back up anyway. Let's trade those two in. I'm going to devour off the depths that one. And I think I'll do Grumble Slug into Nautilus next turn. Probably just overriding the Poro. Yeah. Now I have a full board of very large units. Yeah, 6 mana. I can Riptide one of the opponent's units away. Yeah, I'll Riptide that one away. It's fine. Let's just attack like this, pull the low health one with the Overwhelmer, so we deal maximum damage to the opponent. Okay, that wasn't so bad. We lost a bit of health to the impact, but nothing we can't heal up in between encounters. We don't have a huge amount of regeneration, but we have a decent amount. Ooh! Emperor's Prosperity is great. We draw 2, which in turn tosses 2, and at the same time we discard 1 card from the opponent's hand. Lucian... no. Yasuo... maybe. Shen... Spirit's Refuge is interesting. Key Guardian tosses 2. So maybe Shen is the play. I would like a region that has large units to support our game plan, because all of the high cost units get a diving helmet, so they become sea monsters. But maybe Shen is my best option. Yeah, let's pick up the Shen. It has a nice bit of, it gives us a nice bit of healing in the encounter itself with the lifesteal and the barrier from the Spirit's Refuge. That's a lot of salvages. I'll keep 1. Toss the Nautilus back in. For once, we're playing a deck where keeping your main champion is not exactly correct. That's different. I think I'll go Key Guardian on the hired gun and then I'll play the hired gun. Seems like a decent early play. Draw 2, toss 2. We set up a blocker. Let's pass. We can afford to take it slow because this opponent doesn't really put on a lot of pressure. Let's clear off the depths. So we can play this Chen for cheaper. Ooh, that Black Cleaver is going to be massive if I ever get to drop down the Shen after I've hit deep. Really? You're attacking here. Maybe he's trying to buff his own units? Or maybe he's trying to soften up my units. Who knows? The vulnerable on all of the opponent's units is very good for Shen actually. We can just choose to pull whichever unit is the weakest. And that way Shen doesn't really take that much damage. Let's do it like this. We trade in. Ooh, I thought I was going to set up a kill with the heavy metal. That's fine. We set up a kill with the Devour of the Depths instead. How close are we to hitting deep? Oh, right now. I figured it wouldn't be long. Well, game's over for the opponent now. That's fine. 6, 8, 9. So we can do this here. Let's do that there. And let's do that there. Try to clear as much of the opponent's board as possible so that next turn we can try to go for a kill. The unfortunate part is that I really wanted to use this heavy metal to remove one of the opponent's units, but he just isn't playing something that's low health enough. Whatever, we deal enough damage to kill the opponent here anyway, so it doesn't even matter. What should I pick here? Vicious Plate Worm? Yeah, it's just as overwhelming, it's a sea monster by default. Might as well. And if we ever get the treasure that that generates those cards, they'll be buffed up with Overwhelm, which is actually kind of good for this deck. If I wasn't running the Titanforge Gauntlets or whatever it's called for the extra mana, I would definitely be running the all units have overwhelm power. Just allows for a lot more with lethality in the deck. There will be times where the opponent just has a full board and I can't really kill the opponent because none of my units have overwhelm, so he just survives with 1 health. Or sometimes doesn't even take that much damage at all. All of his units have regeneration, so there's no point in attacking. Yep. Let's just stall. Ooh, we're ramping up quite fast because of the opponent's power. Let's do this, try to hit the deep as soon as possible. That's not it. I guess we're just dropping down the Shen for the sake of blocking the opponent's units. Block here, there. Unfortunately, all of his units are going to heal up from this. Now that heavy metal would be useful, at the very least I would have been able to remove 1 more unit. Another Shen. A bit redundant, but at the very least it allows me to save 2 units when attacking. Although attacking here seems a bit pointless, because the opponent's just going to block. But I can still get some damage through. Let's reorder this. Since none of the damage I'm going to dish out is actually going to stick, I might as well do it like this to maximize damage dealt. And at the very least I get to trade with 2 of the opponent's units. So slowly and surely I'll drain him out of resources. Let's devour off the depths there. I'll just use the Shen's Stand United next turn to block that thing. And then I don't really have a way to deal with that unit. I guess Nautilus and Nautilus Champion spell can deal with it, but Not really drawing Nautilus. I'm still going to get Nautilus down. Just because he can act as a blocker for that thing. We'll do this.
The king could go where they
Give it barrier.
Our wills align.
Ooh. Right, with 2 Shens on board. The damage buffs from the Shen's effect do add up. So I can give something +6 by giving it barrier. It was very useful to trade into that unit. Now the opponent has nothing. Or nothing relevant that he can use to block this upcoming attack. Yeah, the opponent shouldn't have a way to prevent this. I think we have played, or I have played, this adventure enough times or against these encounters specifically to know what most of them have in the deck, and I'm pretty sure the kindly Tavern Keeper doesn't have frostbites or anything that would save him in that situation. And another ally gets better, give me berry this round if I don't have it. Nah, all of these are too small. Want larger units. Yup, same thing here. Laurent Chevalier. I guess, just because it has diving helmet. And we're going for the gold chest. I definitely need to hit a shop. I have a lot of money and nowhere to spend it on. This is going to be a problem. Not hitting a shop before Elder Dragon might make the fight a lot harder than it needs to be. But I should still be able to pull it off. I just have to get lucky and not have the opponent just obliterate me by playing all of the insane cards he has access to. I guess I'll just try to soften up both of the Heralds of Dragons. That's annoying.
Don't stand in my way.
I guess I'm still doing this just so I can set up a kill later on that Herald of Dragons. It's fine. Really? An attack right away? Oh, I guess he just wants to get damage through. Sure. If you're spending your entire turn just trying to deal damage to my face, I'll take it. I have a Spirit's Refuge in hand, so I can afford to take a bit of damage. Let's just remove your ramp. It would be nice to kill the second one, but I don't think I can. I don't really have a unit that's large enough to hit that thing. So let's just dig so we can hit deep with a far away. I guess I can play the Shen just to try and soften up some of the units here. Kill there. Soften up that thing. We'll soften up the Herald of Dragons. That should help prevent a lot of the opponent's aggression. Unless he drops down Elder Dragon here, he can do that. Dragon Allegiant. Let's do Tear of the Depths. So we can hit deep and have a tougher board. Now we can't really go for Elder Dragon and go for a massive attack. In fact, he's still a ways off from leveling up Elder Dragon, and he wouldn't be able to do it with the units he has on board. Really? I guess he wants the board space? Perhaps? I'm keeping the spell mana open just so I can go for Spirit's Refuge. I guess with the new turn I can afford to draw 2 and discard 2 from his hand. Or 1 from his hand.
Enforced equilibrium.
Let's do it like this. Pull here, here, here. Deal some damage to the opponent's Nexus. And clear his board at the same time. Whatever he has in his hand is now extremely cheap. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to play Nautilus. And I have 2 Nautilus in hand, so I hope that next turn he plays something before attacking so I can just Riptide the Elder Dragon away. At least that's the plan. Okay, played something before playing the Elder Dragon. And it's something that's extremely expensive, so we won't be able to play an Elder Dragon as a follow-up to that category. So basically we have a perfect turn. And now everything's set up so that I can kill the opponent here. Turns out I was worried for no reason. Really? I guess it mitigates the damage a little bit. But I can just do this, swap those 2 around, and now not only do I deal a bunch of damage to the opponent's Nexus, I also kill the Cadagreen anyway. That was completely irrelevant. But just to rub it in the opponent's face how hard I was going to win that game. Iceborne Gauntlet, Flame Wreath Soul, Arcane Knowledge. Iceborne Gauntlet removes the Baron from the board, but I don't really need that to happen. So let's just pick up Arcane Knowledge so that when we do drop down Nautilus, if we are not deep, we get to the deep faster. Cluttered Mind, Pilfer, BRB. Can I afford to take BRB and pass my first turn? I'm not going to risk it. Our deck is rather slow. If you have no units, get a Mana Gem. Vampiric Vitality. Nah, we don't need the lifesteal. That's just a negative, no upside for us. Titanic Titan, Pilfer. I guess we're just picking up the Titanic Titan. It's not interesting, but it's not like there were better options. Yeah, I'm not facing off against the Ocean Drake. No way. Let's go for the Bone Scryer. Although Bone Scryer might be a harder encounter. Eventually the opponent's just going to get some very massive Bone Scryers that are going to deal a bunch of damage if they ever connect with my Nexus. Well, fortunately I have 94 Nexus health, so that's fine. It's going to be fine. Avalanche on the first turn, really? Seems unnecessary. I guess it makes it so that my unit becomes a 1/1 next turn. Did I really mulligan away the toss card? Toss and draw. It was an accident. I wanted to keep that in my hand.
Get bloody?
Oh well.
Hey.
I'll try to keep the Glohan Chevalier on board, just so I can use it to generate some value. And that implies trading in with my hired guns. Unfortunately, the opponent's units are just too large. Ooh, that's exactly what I needed. Emperor's Prosperity. Okay, that's fine. Let's dig deep so we can go deep.
My faith protects me.
21. If I play one of these, I won't have spell mana open next turn. I really wanted to go for a Nautilus into Nautilus champion spell, but I won't have mana anyway, so might as well just play an additional blocker. Yeah, let's pass. That's fine, that's fine. Let's let the opponent attack, because of course he's going to attack. Let's trade basically everything. I'm taking a bunch of damage, but it's fine, I have over 90 health to play with. No way the opponent can just deal 90 health like that. But I am struggling to kill the opponent's units, even if I play Nautilus here. It's going to be hard to do so. A salvage makes me hit deep. Oh, I hit deep by default because I toss off of the red treasures. Let's try to develop a board. I can use the Devour of the Depth to remove whatever is the largest on the opponent's board. After I soften it up with something else, of course. Let's draw. Try to hit something good here. Another Devour of the Depths is huge. Heavy metal is nice as well. How do I want to do this? Let's remove that right away, because that hasn't gotten formidable yet. We can trade like this with the Nautilus, and we can trade like this here. This softens up this unit. That's important because my units don't get healed up. Then I can pull here as well. That's going to set that to 17. I can do 4 to that. It goes to 14. It needs to be less health. So the correct place to pull like this, so that this way this gets set to 6, this gets set to 17, I put it down to 13 with this spell, and then I can go for the two Devours of the Depths, which will target those two and they'll die. Oh. That took a while, but we got to the line. We don't win the game, but at the very least we managed to swing the board back into our favor. Now my units are minuscule because of the effect of the opponent's powers, making all of them formidable. But at the very least I can do this. Use Nautilus to remove that threat. I can block that thing. Let's try to fish for another sea monster. Ooh, that Shen's massive. I need that Shen to connect. In fact, that Shen is going to connect no matter what. I can shuffle that back into the opponent's deck. Extremely lucky that I hit a Riptide. Now the Shen is guaranteed to connect, and the opponent's guaranteed to die. I still have the Devourers of the Depths at full health, so they deal maximum damage. Can I please get a shop? Don't tell me I'm going to go through this entire run without hitting a single shop. I think that's statistically impossible. That Bloom Wanderer? No, let's go for more Devourers of the Depths. They were so useful this game. Surely they will be useful later on as well. Laurent Chevalier with Overwhelm, sure, even though the card draw is nice as well. There it is, there's a shop. I think it's impossible to go through an entire run without hitting a shop. Mountain's Peak. Do I feel lucky? Yeah, let's go for gambling. Surely this won't backfire and benefit the opponent more than it benefits me. Also, time to splurge all over our hard-earned money. Hard-earned money. That's a elusive and a sea monster. Triferin Shieldbreaker. Sure, that's a sea monster as well. Voices of the Old Ones. Draw each that costs 8+. I don't really have a lot of 8+ cost cards, so no. Pokestick is interesting, but nah. So let's just reroll. Maybe we can get something better. Mega Tusk. Obviously we're picking up the Mega Tusk. Do I want denies? Not really. Let's reroll again. Zephyr Sage. Zephyr Sage is good. More value. We can double up on some sea monsters. Crowd favorite with Spell Shield and Regeneration. And it's a sea monster. So yeah, I'm not passing that up. Tom Kench. Unfortunately, not a sea monster. What are the breakpoints in the stack deck yet again? For every 12 cards past 18, so it's 18, 30, 42, 54, 66. We need to get to 66. Let's reroll. Slotbot, Scrap Shot, Sea Scarab. Yep, Sea Scarab. We go to 61. Do I want to pick up the Scrap Shot? Let's pick up the Parlay. We go up to 64. We go for that encounter, get an item, a epic item chest, and we'll be up to 66 to face off against the Baron Nashor. Now, our deck just became a lot more inconsistent, but as long as I keep my draw cards in my opening hand, I should be fine. Ooh, and we hit a Sea Scarab off of the first toss. Now things are even more consistent for us. Mountain's Peak set this to 0. If only I could damage the opponent's unit enough to play this and kill it. I think I can.
2 worlds, 1 balance.
The winter's
That's fine.
So I go.
Let's pull here. Worst case scenario, I'll just devour off the depths this thing. Best case scenario, I hit one of the opponent's units. That's not that. I'll take it. Next turn we have 5 mana. We can go for Key Guardian and Salvage. Ooh, Mountain's Peak hit the Salvage. I guess we're going Salvage, Key Guardian and something else. What else? Kind of depends on what the opponent plays here. Let's give this barrier. Draw 2 more. How close are we to hitting deep? We're a bit off. We'll get there naturally. This is fine. let him play whatever. All our units on board can trade favorably into his. Well, no, not really, because they got buffed up, but I'll throw this in just so we toss off of the Sea Scarab. It gets us to deep faster. Next turn. Stand United. Well, I can just stand United and kill 2 of the opponent's units. I can Zephyr Sage, or I can salvage. Let's salvage. We fill up our hand, but we hit deep in the process. Yep. I think that's a lot more important. Because now, all of my units are a threat. Or most of my units anyway. Actually, let's do it like this. Pull here. Pull with the Overwhelmer. Deal 75 damage to the opponent's Nexus. And he obviously doesn't have combat tricks to stop this from happening. So he loses.
You fought with honor.
Maybe Baron won't be that much of a challenge. Kind of depends. If he can be aggressive enough before we hit deep, I think we'll be screwed. But if he can't, we'll make short work of him. Sea Scarab, Parley, Jewel Gauntlet, Salvage. Let's pick up more salvages, just because it's a more consistent way to toss cards than the other two. We kind of have the perfect setup, honestly. We have a lot of card draw. We managed to hit the 66 cards breakpoint for our deck. We have a lot of sea monsters in our deck. We got very lucky. Ooh, and we keep hitting Sea Scarab at the start of the game as well. Well, ever since we got the Sea Scarab. What do I want to do here? Let's play the free card first. Let's see what the opponent does. Okay. We'll draw 2. See what we get here. The opponent didn't discard anything that was too relevant. Let's keep digging through our deck. I don't see a reason not to, honestly. This. Let's kill this thing. A little bit of damage to the opponent's Nexus. And I suppose we'll deal a bit of damage to the Karox as well. Just so we can kill it later on. We're also tossing one of the Sea Scarab because we're killing one of our own units. The elusive Voidlings are going to be annoying. Especially because they're going to draw cards for the opponent. Ooh, and the hit evolve. Well, at the very least we're going very fast on the deep. In fact, I'm pretty sure we can hit it now. Just by doing this. Yep. So now we can just obliterate one of the opponent's units. Let's obliterate one of the elusives. Let's avoid taking damage that way.
If I can save a life, I must.
Let's go for the drop down the Grumble Slug. Then my units are massive. The Baron is just going to end up killing itself on them. Let's let the Grumbles... Oh, no. I want to Grumble Slug to die this turn, I think. Just so I don't end up decking myself out. Yeah, let's drop down the crowd favorite. We can follow it up with a Lowhound Protege afterwards. We'll attack like this. Let's kill all of the elusives. pull here, pull here, ensure the opponent doesn't have a board and that the Sea Scarab dies at the end of the turn. If I capture the Baron, I might actually be able to just straight up kill the opponent with raw damage, but this is quicker, honestly. I could also just obliterate the Baron with the Devour of the Depths, but I don't really want to do that. I guess screw that crowd favorite in particular. Not like it does much for the opponent. Unfortunately, all of my units are way too large for him to deal with. And that just means the Baron will die. Nice. Okay, turns out we can grow larger than the Baron can, at a quicker rate too, but I think this was a bit of a high roll of a run, even though we only managed to hit a single shop. Throughout the entire thing, the cards we did pick up were very good. So yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.